First of all, let's go
Uh,
into Ironheart. For those of you that don't know, Ironheart is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Hmm.
All 6 episodes
er,
are available.
For some strange reason, I just thought it was 8 episodes. But yeah, all 6 episodes then are now streaming. And what did you gentlemen think about it?
why? Just why?
It's just, come on, Ty, give us some more. Give us some more. Come on, give us some
so
more.
so let's go in the background a little bit. In Black Panther 3 or
Mm,
Wakanda Forever, they introduced Riri Williams as a college
yes.
student and kind of a badass. She was badass in
Hmm.
it. And she made her own suit. She had Shiri backing her up. She had Wakanda backing her up. The suit looked awesome. It worked well. Wait a minute. Why did the her college take over her suit? Why is she stealing? Why is she selling secrets to other? Oh wait, what? What are you doing, Riri? Oh, okay, I get you want to be bigger than Stark. You want to be bigger than Jobs. You want to be bigger than these people. This is not your character. Like 0% was not your character. I am fully convinced after watching just the first 3 episodes that the MCU is their own 616. It is not, and yeah, it is a whole separate universe, but they're trying to be 616. Now,
Yeah, the
going back to,
MCU is definitely
yeah,
its own thing. So yeah, this
Mm,
definitely isn't Riri from the comics. At least not yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
We
I,
see
I pray you're right. I pray you're right.
well, that's the thing.
It's,
We see a glimpse of the Riri from the comic books at the very end of episode 6 for like the last maybe 40
mm,
seconds. She becomes Riri with the events that happens. But again, this is spoilers, so we can go into it. Episodes 1 through 6
yeah.
shows a new origin of Riri Williams, a new introduction to this character in the MCU version, I should
Mm,
say. Um, if you have any preconceived notions about who Riri is from the comic books, you may not like this iteration of Riri from the very first episode because she is so starkly different. Pun intended,
Guilty.
starkly
hi.
different.
Yeah.
I'm
The
highly
reason I
guilty.
say that, yeah, I only say that because in here, yes, we met Riri doing I almost say Kung Fu Panda, Black Panther 2. um, and she was this established, super smart, educated black girl who had this trajectory of being
Mm,
an opposite to Tony Stark. She's taking over the mantle of the Iron Suit person, even though we have War Machine, but she's taking up the mantle. And here, her characteristics did seem like a downgrade from that movie, where they made her the stereotypical struggling black thug, if you want to say, type of
Mhm.
character. And I get that from
mm,
a lot of people who say they don't like that characteristics that they gave her in the beginning. That's making her a villain and a bad guy. She's working with bad guys because she needs money. Um, for me, the MCU, just based off the first 3 episodes, because the first three is one half of her story, and the other 3 episodes is the second arc, which is where she's more redeemable. For
yeah.
me, it seems like the MCU was completely retelling Tony Stark's story because we know how he began as Iron Man. He wasn't a good person. He wasn't a squeaky clean person. I mean, he made his billions, his empire based off of being a manufacturer of war weapons, selling them to
Mm,
other countries, even going against the US. You know, he wasn't a good person. We know this. But throughout his story, throughout his arc, he became the Iron Man, the Tony Stark that we know and love. They're doing the
mm,
same thing with Riri Williams. It's a parallel between
yeah.
Tony Stark. Yeah, they're brilliant, they're smart, but what do you do with all that brilliance? You do some questionable things, and that's what's happening with Riri during the first 3 episodes. She's finding herself. She's finding out the nuances of navigating what makes a good person, what makes a bad person. Is it necessary your choices? Because we all have done some fucked up things. That doesn't mean we're
Mm,
fucked up people. And that's what I
Fair
want people
enough.
to realize what they're showing with this first 3 episodes. Go ahead, Mark.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, just because thinking like the whole thing of Ironheart is Iron Man 1. You have the same bad guy for, it's the son of as Obadiah, whatever his name is. So
Yes,
you
Obadiah
generally,
Stane.
yeah. So you can, like, basically all they did was they told the story of like Iron Man, but a little bit kind of prelude before it. Obviously, you saw what she did because obviously Iron Man at the very beginning is like, this is the Jericho weapon. This is what we're going to be doing. This is absolute. Then he gets like hit. He makes the whole like suit in a cave. He does everything that way, and then changes his way. Just thinking about it, do you think what would have been a like kind of a better storyline is have her against, she's in school, she's learned all this sort of stuff, and it's like her kind of way up to graduate to go into, is it MIT, and
Yeah.
then kind of go against maybe some of her school people. Maybe there's that dickhead, like, like the main villain, and then he gets corrupted and stuff like that, rather than just go, we're telling like the story of Iron Man with it, but with extra steps.
Yeah, that's what they did. It was just a complete retelling of the Iron Man story. It's kind of like how her and Tony Stark are pretty much two sides of the same coin. They may have
Yeah.
grew up differently, but they always end up at the same outcome. And
Mm,
again, with all that brilliance, and you're trying to create an artificial intelligence that can literally save the world, in order to get funding for that, you have to do some questionable things. You can't pay for that stuff by working at a regular 9 to 5. So yes, she had to sell some of her inventions to other schools with again these rich kids who have the funding to do so. Let me sell you one of my texts for a few $1,000s because you got it. You
Yeah.
have expendable income for me. I could take that money. Yes, it's bad, but I'm putting it towards a great cause. Again, parallels Tony Stark. Yeah, he was doing
Mm,
some questionable things, but in his mind, okay, the good is going to outweigh the bad that I'm doing today. Okay.
yeah.
And that's what they're pushing super hard, really heavy handed with Riri Williams in Ironheart, first three
Mm,
episodes. And again, me, myself, I keep pressing, like trying to have a distinct separation between episodes 3 and episodes 4, 5, 6, because it is
yeah.
a complete hard stop, almost like intermission in a play. Hard stop, and we come back, and it's a revamp for the final 3 episodes of her arc.
Hmm. Yeah. Like,
okay, that's fair. That's fair. I just, when I look at it and what some of the community has been saying, and we've seen this in films too, that black actors have not been shown in a good light. They're always playing the gangster, the thief, or the break-ins and whatnot. I didn't want that for Riri, and I see where you're
Agree,
coming from,
agree,
and that's where
agree.
I went. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get the comics, or I'm gonna read up on her, and I am so pissed off because we've talked about race swapping before, actor swapping. This is another, Ironheart is no, just another example of a great character, a good black character getting flipped for a white man. And why do I say this? I say this because back in Civil War, what did we see Tony do? We saw Tony go to Spider Man and recruit him. That entire storyline was Riri's in the beginning.
Yeah, agree, agree.
And I went, I'm sorry, you did what now? Oh, Disney,
Yeah, the
Disney, Disney.
MCU, they take comic book stories and they put them into what fits their narrative, which
mm,
isn't necessarily a bad thing 100% of the time. It's pretty good. But because they gave her story to Peter Parker, they had to create her own. And for me, what we already had that was established with the Black Panther film should have been the start and have her going from there. We know she went to MIT. Okay, let her become top of the class. We know she's brilliant. But
mm,
again, I have to agree with everyone. I don't like the, okay, she's so high now, we have to knock her down so we could build her back up. You could have did that so many different ways without having to make her feel diminished, I should say.
mm,
Yeah, and I definitely think they could have brought in. some other black characters, Blade's been shafted so many times over the past year alone. We've gotten War Machine, who's also been shafted. Yeah, he got a big role in Endgame and Infinity War and Civil War, but give him his own movie. We're still going on about freaking uh, Captain America Winter Soldier and uh, I forget Falcon's real name off the top of my head. But
Sam.
Sam,
Yeah,
Sam
Sam.
Wilson, why isn't he jumping in, saying, "Hey, Riri, I'll take you under my wing," pun intended.
Would it be would it be more of the fact that if you're doing it for the MCU, then it kind of overshadows like one of the characters? Because if you bring in effectively Captain America, what you're doing is like, Riri then slowly gets pushed to the side because your main focus is going to be on Sam and what he's doing and stuff like that. And it doesn't really become its own thing where Riri obviously has an entire series. And I think it might just take away that specialness and be like, oh, it's just another Captain America, and that's it. That's literally, I think, how people would kind of see it.
I just with
Yeah.
scrutiny over um, Brave New World, I think uh, Sam mentoring someone may have been a good idea. Even War Machine. War Machine probably would have been better. Brody being, disabled from the waist down, um, facing multiple cosmic events. I think he could have been a great mentor for Riri because it seems like they're pushing new Avengers or young Avengers.
Mm. I mean, you could.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I think for an opening for Riri on herself, Ironheart season one is in a way fine to introduce her. Then maybe for the second season, that's when they introduce War Machine. Could step in and be like, "Look, saw what you did here. You're flying around like Tony, or Tony-esque, but you did shit wrong. So I'm now going to teach you. I am now going to show you what it's like to actually wear the iron armor and stuff like that, and then kind of lead in." Because I feel like then you're not overshadowing her with someone else, and then it's more kind of like, great, I absolutely fine, like that. Because again, you could also link it in with, what was the one that you found out that he was a scroll in the end? That really bad one where, like the one person got all the powers of every single Marvel hero.
Oh, you talk about Nick Fury.
Yeah, so like Nick Fury, or
Wasn't
like
it?
maybe you could bring in Nick Fury again and say, look, I particularly, so I'm just going to close the window.
And all
Got
I'm thinking, all I'm thinking of is what the mother effing you doing now?
well, yeah, I mean,
In my head or something along those lines. Just
yeah,
iconic.
but am I guessing that Nick Fury is in control of the Young Avengers or the New Avengers or something like that, or is it someone else? Or because I've never read it, so
Uh, uh, in the MCU, maybe Sam has to reckon or something going forward. I don't fucking know.
mm,
I don't really care for the new Avengers at this point. I don't think Marvel really care for them because we keep getting the Avengers
mm,
back
Excuse me.
after they died and going on. Now they're all coming back again for Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, excuse me,
yeah,
I don't really know what they're doing. But as for Riri and her story, again, I just for me because episodes one, two, and three is so different from
mm,
episodes four, five, and six. It feels like her arc is completed by episode six, where yes, she could have had the mentor if it would have just been consistently the same tone, same story as episodes one, two, and three, then I would have seen them bringing in Rhodey. Like, this is
mm,
what it is to be an iron person. You have the brain to do so to make your suit, but what are you going to do with that suit and that power and that
yeah,
responsibility? But she kind of found her own. And I think Ironheart series, what it's done so beautifully throughout all six episodes, it shows her journey of becoming a hero. Like,
yeah,
okay, I have this power, I have this thing, and I need to do something, but I know all these heroes. I met Wakandans. I met
mm,
freaking warriors who are bald and with spears who don't have superpowers at all, but who could take down a man in a suit with ease. She's seen these things. So she's now in the middle of, okay, there's this guy with the hood. He has magical
Mm,
powers and he's doing these bad things, not for like I'm doing it just for money, just to do something good. But they're just
yeah.
literally just bad people. And she's realizing it. And now she's has to come to terms with, okay,
Well,
I could be the hero. I know these heroes, but what does a hero mean to me, and how do I
Mm,
become a hero? And that was her arc throughout these stories of her becoming the hero she needed to be.
mm. It's not bad. Like, so what did you guys like? Did you have any like any other major gripes with it? Because I only had two while watching the entire thing, and they were all in episode
Pacing,
one.
pacing was an
Mm,
issue for me. I believe it should have been 8 episodes, 10
mm,
episodes. You could do five and five, five of her, because it felt like her when she joined the party of the hood. That was way too rushed for her to go to wanting to join them. Well, being recruited to understanding what she's doing to then in episode like half episode two, beginning episode three, be like, oh,
yeah.
y'all the bad guys. You know what I mean? It was just too quick of a turnaround
Mm,
for her to even see that. Because once you get into a crew, for them to even trust you like that, there's some time has to go by for you to get into with these crews to do the stuff that they were doing, the jobs that they were doing. Like there's been
yeah.
a plan in motion prior to Riri even getting there. It's been stated that they've been working on this big end game to take over his father's company and stuff like that. It's kind of like, so y'all just let some outsider y'all don't know come in and be with y'all, like where y'all could literally end up in prison for the rest of your lives, or dead, and y'all just let this
Mm.
random girl come up in there and run up in your stuff and
It's
turn
because
all your plans. Like it makes no sense.
she had an Iron Man suit. That was it. They were like, we just want that. Let's bring it in.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, you got some really
Oh,
cool
she got a
toys.
robot suit, so let's just trust her with everything. Like if I see somebody in a robot suit, like, oh, you tied to those Avengers, I'm not telling you shit. Cause I'm not
Yeah.
about to get punched in the back of the head by Black Widow or somebody.
It's randomly turning up. We had to take this suit.
Right.
Uh, like
I'm not doing that.
what
I,
what I
I agree.
what I found generally funny is just and also really stupid at the same time was in like episode one, where the school know that she's got the suit because that sort of thing you're not going to lose track of, and it's just like she's flying home, and then all of a sudden they just like turn it off, and I'm just like, could you not have put like a safety protocol of let's just land and then turn off, like either open the chest of it so you can get out, and then that's it. And I just never thought, was the school trying to kill her? Just like be like, oh well, you're expelled, so we don't give a shit about you. Is
That's the
I
thing.
Um,
They just shows Riri's brilliance, where she has the foresight to think of things like that. Her and Tony
mm,
Stark would have thought of protocols. You know what I mean? The
yeah,
school don't think about that, so their AI was completely juvenile compared to what she created with Natalie.
mm,
Natalie is so advanced. It's kind of like how when Tony created Jarvis and it
yeah,
became so advanced, it became Ultron. You know what I mean?
mm.
Ultron thought he was doing something good by saving humanity by ending us. Because if you look at humanity and you look at our real life world, we are fucked up.
Oh yeah, of
You know
course,
what I
one
mean?
hundred percent.
But now that begs the question, Natalie, even though now she's mixed up with Mephisto and she's become a real life human again, we know Natalie's spirit is dead. So what the hell is walking around on Earth now calling herself Natalie? That's my
I
bigger picture.
straight
so
demon. I've
I
watched enough horror movies.
see. I I want to throw in the fact that it's probably Natalie. And I reckon what Mephisto's done is gone to the point where she's just died, like and it's gone time snap, and then just placed her out of time. So it's going to
Hmm.
probably create. There they go, Doctor Strange, season 4, movie 4. There we go, or season whatever it is, and be like, boom, you've now got to sort out that mess. Thank you, Mephisto. But I would just like to know, like to say that you now have Borat or Ali G as your Mephisto. So I hope you like that because that made me laugh when I found it. I was like, damn, it's a Cohen or whatever his name is, Cohen. It's like, dear God,
Sorry.
I didn't realize that you were Mephisto. That's something a little bit funny. That one,
Yeah,
I want to say sure.
Sasha Baron Cohen. He wasn't that
yeah,
bad. Like people may have had gripes about him playing Mephisto. He had some lines up in there. He's not a bad
yeah,
character. will we see him as like the red guy who resembles Azazos from X-Men? You know what I mean? Like, I
I
don't know.
reckon
I
I,
want to
so,
see it. I want to see it. Yeah.
because you saw
well,
it in
I
the
think
reflection of the spoon. So I
Yeah.
think that that will come up at some point. Like he will transform into that one because Marvel loves
yeah,
spending money.
Yeah.
yeah, and I definitely think that the introduction of Mephisto is a definite need for the MCU because they can go back into Iron Man. Like you said, it's a retelling of Iron Man. Well, if I remember correctly, and Carl and his crew can correct me on this, um, Tony's father made a deal with Mephisto to
He
make
did.
these machines.
Mm,
He did.
And
And I
he
think
makes so many deals along the lines. And I liked his portrayal of Mephisto because it brought me back to Supernatural with Death, where he's just this
mm,
calm, collected guy going, let's make a deal.
mm.
Oh,
it's
you don't
kind
want
of
to make a
like,
deal? I'm fucking out of here.
yeah, but since you bring up the Tony Stark dad, Howard Stark, and his deal with Mephisto, because Mephisto been intertwined with the Marvel forever. Now, are they gonna do callbacks saying he was always within the MCU doing this and that, pulling strings behind the scenes,
Mm.
so to speak? Because if that's the case, now jumping forward, the the ending of Ironheart, where we know she made the deal to have Natalie back. Subconsciously, she made a deal with him. Um, is that going to directly go into Doomsday? Because we do know Robert Downey Jr. is back as Doctor Doom. Um, I
Oh,
want to
I
know,
didn't think about that.
is that some type of ploy where it is Tony Stark esque. Like he's literally a Tony Stark, maybe not plucked out of time, but from a point in time where the deal went wrong with his dad, and in order to claim his deal back, Mephisto took the soul of Tony Stark and made him Doctor Doom. You know what I mean? Because now I'm thinking like, why would Ironheart end the way it did, but heavy hand? Like, it was like very handed about the parallels between her and Tony Stark. Like they want you
Mm.
to know she's a direct counterpart to Tony Stark. Like his dad made a deal, she made a deal to have somebody back. So now they got me thinking like, are y'all foreshadowing something with
Mm.
Tony Stark? Like, is he coming back as the devil or a failed deal, which is why he's now Doctor Doom?
So I want to say two things on that. One, shits and giggles would just literally be the way that I would write it. Be like, we just thought it'd be really funny just to bring him back and turn him evil and give him no real reason. Just fuck it, why not? But also maybe like a second one could be like, yeah, like if it's connected with Riri, she could have made another subconscious thing and be like, okay, well, I want like I want someone to go against me. I want to fight someone, or I want to go have an intellectual battle. And then he's just gone, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do that with Tony because Tony's at the moment the only person that could rival you with with knowledge and stuff. So why don't we just make him evil and then just change it, or just pull him out of time? Or you could do the kind of the uncanny, is it the uncanny suits? I'm basically like there's a storyline in one of the Marvel comics of like the all the villains turn good, and then all the superheroes turn evil. And Tony realizes that if he changes something, he won't turn good, so he stays evil, and he kind of like fucks over mankind. So maybe they'll take something from that instead and be like, yeah, why not go with it? I particularly like shits and giggles because that's funnier.
I would have said that, but we know Marvel, they plan for this shit. And it's just too ironic that they heavy-handed to let you know that Riri and Tony Stark are still connected even through death, and Mephisto
Hmm.
is here, and then she get her suit infused with magic, but why is it red? Magic coming from chaos magic that's derived from Mephisto. You know, they just too much
Yeah.
coincidences up in here. I'm like, nah, what's going on with Tony Stark? He's back. Like, I never say
Mm.
he's not back, but we know he's back because the way this movie ended, she got Natalie back from Mephisto with dark
Yeah.
magic.
See, one thing we like with that though is like they explain it like very well. You know, you're gonna use magic, you're asked for something, something's got to be taken. And then suddenly they're like, "Where's Natalie? Where's Natalie? Oh my god!" Like, and it's just like, did you not hear like 5 minutes ago the rules of they will take something from you that you love or that is very important to you, and that
Hmm.
obviously the Natalie was, and they're like, "We need her back." It's like, just get rid of the magic then. That's literally all you'd have to do is just say, "Okay, reverse it," and there would be a chance that she could come back. But then they don't make a backup of her. And I'm like, yeah, I would have thought of that way before you start that the magic chanting. It's simple. So it was
But
a kind of a weird thing that they didn't think
I
about it.
don't think so. I think because it was a plan of Mephisto all along. I think he always wanted Riri.
Mm,
He wanted Tony Stark from the beginning, so he used Howard Stark to get to Tony. But Tony made that ultimate sacrifice at the end of Endgame and completely killed himself. So now he said, "Oh
mm,
shit, I need a plan B. I need somebody with that brilliance. Oh, there's
mm,
Riri. Let me get this boy who's completely ostracized by his father, kicked out. Let me get him set up as the hood, give him whatever he wants, just so I can get to this girl who I really want."
mm,
Mephisto, he's been alive for so long. He plans for stuff like this. It's the brain that he wants, that type of
mm.
brilliance that he hasn't seen across any universe, because it's been established. Tony
So,
Stark brain is nothing unseen before.
mm. So do you think that Mephisto's not going to fuck her over, like keep her on his side for like forever? How long?
Yes, I think he gave her the real. Again, you can't never trust the devil. So from
Mm,
her point of view, I think he gave her Natalie just so he could have her in his back pocket, so he could get Tony and her. I think he really wants her, Wanda, and Tony Stark on his side for whatever big plan he got, master plan. I think he wants those three because there's just something we never seen before across any type of multiverse. Them
yeah.
three.
Well, if we look at Mom, Multiverse of Madness, we saw and Wanda and Vision. We see
Hmm.
Wanda go downhill. She ostracized herself to just be happy. She took the dark tome to become happy. She just wanted to be happy with a family and Vision.
Mm,
And what we see with Riri, she has a connection with Tony. I think that connection, it could be going back to the comics where she idolized him at a young age and
Hmm.
wanted to become that. That's why she went to MIT and all this. And that connection was so strong. And he might even go after Peter as well for this as well, because of the father figure. He wants to make Tony come back to life using those memories and connections to make his own Tony Stark to do whatever he wants to do.
mm.
Yeah, it's so that's a good theory too. Like there's so many wild theories out there because it's kind of like they giving us little pieces of a puzzle and seeing if we could piece them together. Because again, it's just too coincidental what happens at the events of Ironheart. To know what we know what's going on with Tony Stark throughout all the Avengers films and his solo films in the MCU up to this point where he died, then we know he's coming back. Like it's just for me, the nerd in me that likes piecing stuff together and just looking at it and knowing how Marvel works. And it's like, yo, Mephisto been planning this for a long time and he wants that brain for something. Do I know what for? No. But I know he wants that girl.
And with the oh, what is one of the new ones coming out too? Um, there was one specific Marvel show coming up that connects Mephisto.
See,
Are you
as
talking
you
about
find,
Power Man?
could you imagine? This is going way off it, but do you remember that guy who controls the barrier between DC and Marvel?
I'm a
Yeah.
dummy. Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to go into the DC universe to fuck shit up. So let's find that guy, and that's the reason why we're doing it. And then it's just like DC and all that's merged together, and we finally get the crossover that we've all wanted.
Fantastic
Super
Four. That's what I was thinking of. Fantastic Four.
What?
Well,
We got Doctor Doom coming in. We just introduced uh the Fantastic Four.
Uh-huh.
So why not bring in Mephisto and Galactus for two
Yeah, we know
more?
Galactus can kill Mephisto though. Just if you go to the comments, Galactus can kill
Yeah,
Mephisto. He's beat him before, him and Dormammu. So that's light work for him. But we know the Fantastic Four lose in their movie where Galactus completely eat their planet in the universe, which is why they come into the MCU universe in
hmm.
our timeline. Again, they spoil that. It's not a spoiler, yours. I'll be spoiled. You pay attention to Thunderbolts in the trailers. They already let us know they get their asses kicked.
I
They
have
ran
yet
away.
I have yet to see that film.
I don't care about
What?
spoilers.
I just don't. I'm just a bit. I mean, I've already seen it, so it's one of those things of if I don't watch it when it comes
Mhm.
out, I know the spoiler is going to be there. Like the second it's like, oh, it opens up at 9 in the morning. Someone there on TikTok with a wobbly phone going, yeah, it's great that. Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't realize. It's just like, yeah, you spent £5, like £10 to go see that film, and then now what? You've got like £1.70 on TikTok. Well done, and piss people off.
And
Great.
and screw those guys. I really get tired of that.
Oh, it happens. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. You know, if you stay off social media, then are you going to go see that film within a week? Can you stay off social media for a week? No, like it's going to be there, no matter how many hashtags or whatever you block.
I
It's
am
going to
Yeah.
happen.
I am really surprised that Neo Lugia did that to watch either it was K-pop Demon Hunters or Jurassic World Rebirth, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'll see it on Facebook, I'll see it on Instagram. I'll be like, get and the trailer and the trailers alone spoil a lot of the movie, and that ruins it for me.
Well, I think that they've actually kind of stopped trying to do that with films because we were talking about it like last time. Like it gets to the point where I've completely lost train of thought. Fuck, because I looked at Jeff Bezos. Well, not that I'm like, oh my god. So, I'm saying like he sells 665 million worth of Amazon stocks. Well done, Jeff.
Which
But
is
no,
why he's super filthy rich. He is Tony Stark.
yeah, but he doesn't have a cool Iron Man. He sent Katy Perry to fake space, so that was all right. Um, but no, like I feel like just in general, like a lot of trailers, there was that law that was it a law that was passed or something when in game or whatever it was, where you saw the Hulk running with everyone and they're fighting Thanos, and because it was fake to try and put people off, people complained that that scene wasn't in there, and then now, like, effectively, you could sue a studio for like for lying
False
effectively.
advertisement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that now, and I think also, yeah, like if you see like if you have 6 trailers and it shows you like maybe 2 minutes worth of extra footage, yeah, it's nice to see. But then it's like, well, I can piece together that film straight away. Like,
I
fuck that
agree.
shit.
Yes. That's why I wish we would go back to the great days where all we had was posters. And if you
Mm,
want to see a trailer, you would have to go to a movie theater. And you want to see that one trailer forever until the movie comes out. There was
yeah,
no
I
other trailer
I
shorts,
agree.
and then you have 7 trailers, then you have 7 shorts. Do you have a trailer for the trailer of the short? Like, where the hell did that come in at?
yeah. Super
And
Bowl.
it was like this morning. I'm scrolling through Facebook, trying to find something. I don't remember what it was, but there was a trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm like, I know this is fake. This has to be fake. Go on go on YouTube. Yep, it's fake.
Yeah, AI has been completely destroying
Yeah.
the market. Okay, you
Mhm.
can create YouTube. You can create so many things with fake AI thumbnails, and now it has evolved to the point of people making like full length trailers. I've seen Sailor Moon live action trailers made in AI. I've seen the Power Rangers 2027 movie reboot from
Mm.
Disney in AI, and it's like, what the hell? AI that needs to be stopped at
No,
this point.
no.
I think now it is because I saw the Doomsday one, and it did. To be fair, when I first saw it very briefly, I was like, oh shit, like someone's actually being able to get scenes from behind it and looks kind of cool. And then I was like, no, this is AI, and I reckon that there'll probably be a law put in place by these movie studios that go,
Mm.
did you make that? Yeah, I did. We're now going to sue you. Or where did you get that? And we're going to sue you if you share this, because effectively, like, you could make anything like, oh, there is Tony Stark, and then that gets plastered around. And I think that should come under a law of, you have just literally ruined the movie because you are now effectively false advertising. If it is like 100% you can see it, then I can, it looks believable, rather than just like, oh, there's Tony Stark with a weird ass face because AI couldn't get his eyes and mouth right, and it's just like, oh, it's all over the place.
Yep.
So I would imagine that there would be something that would come into law, because that could hurt the movie industry, and we know that they like their monies.
I
Yep.
think that's a blessing and a curse, though, that these studios can use. Because if
Mm,
you something that you planning and it has been leaked, you can easily be like, "That's not real. That's these AI people." Wink, wink. You know what I mean? You can kind of get
yeah.
away with it nowadays. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Yep. And of course, we've seen uh, a bunch of people, especially with Legend of the White Dragon.
God
This
damn right.
guy's how many times now, Mark? I think he's up to 35 times he's trying to upload clips of Legend of the White Dragon to his YouTube channel to gain clout.
It's only
At
been
this
what?
point, I'm about to say, at this point, the only way we're gonna get Legend of the White Dragons is if we ask Mephisto for a deal. That's it.
Nah, I'm okay on that one. That film can burn. Yeah, considering all of the stuff that's been happening with Aaron coming out and random stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think at the end of the day, that film, it will come out, like it will go on Tubi, and as soon as it happens, and then people will go, cool. Anyway, and
That's
that's it.
basically how I'm gonna run it. Just okay, finally, just release it. I'm not gonna listen to Legacy of the Nerd. I'm not gonna listen to this other guy. They could go. They could go to hell. The only people I'm gonna listen to is these two guys right here. If they get messages from Aaron himself stating when it's gonna drop, I'll believe these guys more and Aaron himself more than I would any of these other newscasts.
Yeah. Oh, I had a lovely conversation with them today. so,
Yeah,
so,
I wonder how
but
that's worked.
no, you can read it. It's on his Facebook page.
I will later.
It's just like there's stuff that wasn't like kind of working out, and I think he's moved the goalposts again. So I'm gonna have to kind of figure it out and like kind of go over it to make sure that it kind of like fits well. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Aaron's gonna say what you want, and
Yep.
if it comes out, it comes out. I think if it doesn't come out this year on any format, it's dead. Like, no one's going to give a shit. Like, and it's not going to get the hype that it wants, and that's fine. Like, that's, you're taking too long, and you use the dead man's name for what you want. So yeah,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
that is
No
our
worries.
thought on like Marvel and what it is. DC's now started its brand new wings and flying into the light for the third time in a row, I think.
I think it's number 4. Well, no, this is the 5th Superman. I think. No, 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 no.
No, we're talking like
We
Seven.
had
the
Christopher.
reboot.
Yeah, this is
7.
another reboot.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
going to see the movie
7.
tonight. I'll let you know if it was good or not. So I'm excited for that. But
Yeah.
Well,
Ironheart, we gotta go back on topic.
Yeah.
sorry.
Final thoughts for Ironheart.
Well, that's what I was trying to move
What
into
is your
the final.
rating? Yeah, what's
I
your
would
rating on Ironheart if you recommend it?
I want to say 7 to 8 for me. 7 to
Okay,
8.
with
7
the
or 8.
7 to 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
with the
Okay.
cliches and the better explanation I got from you, Darrell, I'm willing to give it a 5 out of 10.
God damn.
Take out the cliches because again, I want the best for this actress. I think the writing could have been better. I definitely think a lot of the series could have been better. I will give it a 6 out of it. 6, 7 out of 10.
Mm.
If you took that stuff out,
Okay.
but for what it is, I think it has somewhere to go. Will it be better in the future? Pray to God. Pray to God.
Yeah. I give it an
But
8 out of 10. Full series review, I give it 8 out of 10. Is it going to push the Marvel Cinematic universe forward? Is this like required reading to continue the MCU? No. You can skip Ironheart and completely continue the films going forward. If you want to know how it kind of, because it kind of directly and indirectly affects, I'd say Avengers Doomsday going forward, just based off of the last 10 seconds of episode 6 from Ironheart.
yeah.
Again, spoilers review. She makes a
Mm.
deal with Mephisto to bring back her friend who was dead, who died in drive-by called Natalie, who became her artificial intelligence. She's now
Mm.
back alive. We know Mephisto made deals with Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark. How are these going to intertwine with each other going forward? We don't know. So if you want to watch Ironheart but don't want to watch it, watch the last episode. I
Yeah.
say that just watch the final episode.
Mm. But before we before we go, I have some very important breaking news that's 4 hours old that the entire world needs to hear. Garfield has a second movie coming out with Chris Pratt in it. I am
I
looking
seen
forward.
that.
well, I hope it's better than the Cat in the Hat that broke a week ago.
I mean, it's
I'm tired of
Garfield.
these damn felines. I'm not watching Garfield. I'm not watching Cat in the Hat. I ain't seen the first uh, Garfield. I'm not watching anything cats related. I'm not watching the Smurfs. What else I'm not watching? I think that's
I,
it.
I wouldn't blame you for not watching the Smurfs because James Corden's in it and he's a horrible human being.
Yeah, that. I mean, Lord, why are we getting? Oh yeah,
Have you?
why the hell are we getting another Cat in the Hat?
Don't know.
I don't.
That,
Garfield 2 is the only one that we need to focus on, as in that's
I
peak
agree.
cinema.
I'll watch Garfield 2 over the Cat in the Hat, especially after Mike Myers. Time to
Yeah,
die, dirty hoe.
But there we go. There's our show for everyone. I hope that everyone's enjoyed it, and I know that you waited for the peak announcement of Garfield 2. Let us know what you think about Ironheart and the entire series, as well as the future of the MCU.
And one more thing before we break too. The actress who plays Ironheart, do not come after us. We are opinion based, and I don't think we should be sued over a fair review of the show.
I mean, if Marvel's suing people over that, I'm like, God damn.
they got a lot of money. Then
Yeah,
it's a lot to try to sue people and get those paperwork filed.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, that
But
well,
yeah,
to be fair, an international lawsuit, they could easily do it. So fuck that. But no, like if they're suing people for reviews, that's very weird because I guarantee there's probably tons and tons of people have been talking about it. So yeah, I think we're safe, boys. I think we're safe.
absolutely
There,
safe. They're not
there's
suing anybody.
there's bigger fish to fry than a measly little
Measly,
commentator.
measly. Ty, take that out of your mouth, sir. Measly. We are.
I guess we're getting there. We're getting there.
Goddamn Ty.
So, support the global nerds.
Yeah. And without before Ty says some other unhinged stuff, we're gonna end it there. Thanks everyone. It's coolio, and see you soon. Bye.
Look up, look up, look up, look up, look up.
Superman.
Yo.